Imagine this. You walk into a room. There's soft music playing, a scent in the air you can't quite name, a bowl of warm cookies near the entrance. You take a seat, you smile. A few minutes later, someone offers you a petition to support an idea you've never heard of. You sign it. Why? Because in those first 30 seconds, you weren't thinking. You were being primed. Welcome to the world of invisible influence, where your thoughts, your choices, even your sense of free will are manipulated, not with force, but with design. This is the puppet master effect. You won't see the strings. You'll just feel like you moved on your own. But in truth, someone else pulled the thread. Today, we dive deep into the hidden forces behind human behavior, forces that governments, advertisers, cult leaders, and even your closest friends can use without you ever noticing. Let's pull back the curtain. Part 1. Priming, the invisible suggestion. Have you ever walked into a bakery and suddenly remembered your grandmother's house? Or read a headline before a conversation and felt it shape your entire view? That's not coincidence. That's priming. Priming is one of the most subtle and most powerful tools in dark psychology. It works by introducing stimuli that unconsciously prepare your brain to respond a certain way. Imagine watching a violent film, then walking into a meeting. You're more likely to perceive others as hostile, even if they're not. Now flip that. If you're shown words like peace, gentle, and cooperate before a negotiation, you're more likely to act calmly, even if you were angry before. In 1996, psychologists John Barr and Tanya Chartrand conducted a study. Participants were exposed to words related to old age, wrinkle, Florida, retirement. When the study ended, those participants literally walked slower when leaving the lab. Their bodies embodied the prime. They didn't notice, they didn't question, they just obeyed. Your mind is a sponge, it soaks in what's around you, and when that information is carefully planted, you behave exactly how someone wants you to. This is how propaganda works. This is how fear campaigns work. This is how marketing shapes your spending habits without selling anything. The most dangerous primes are the ones that don't seem like manipulation at all. A font choice, a background color, a single word in the right moment. And with that, the puppet moves. But it doesn't stop there. Priming is just the first string. Let's follow it to the next. Part 2, nudge theory. The small push that changes everything. In 2008, behavioral economists Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein introduced a concept that would go on to reshape governments around the world. Nudge theory. A nudge is not a shove, it's not force. It's a carefully designed choice architecture, one that guides your behavior without you realizing it's happening. Imagine you're at a buffet. The healthiest food is placed first. You're more likely to eat it, not because you chose better, but because your environment guided you. This is called choice architecture. It doesn't change your options, it changes your path. Governments have used this to increase organ donation rates, improve tax compliance, and influence voting behavior. In one study, placing a picture of eyes above a donation jar tripled contributions. Why? The feeling of being watched nudged people to act more ethically, even though the eyes weren't real. In the UK, a single line of text added to tax letters, 9 out of 10 people in your area have already paid. Increased payment rates significantly. This isn't magic, it's subtle pressure, it's behavioral engineering. And when combined with priming, it becomes a powerful mechanism of silent control. Look around. Your streaming platform suggests what to watch next. Your job application form makes the default option opt-in to data sharing. Your phone vibrates at just the right time to pull you back in. The puppet master isn't loud, he's strategic. He doesn't overpower, he rearranges your mental furniture and lets you sit down willingly. Part 3, social proof. The herd that owns your mind. In 1951, psychologist Solomon Asch ran a famous experiment. Participants were shown a line. and then asked to match it to one of three options. The correct answer was obvious, but everyone in the group except one person had been instructed to give the wrong answer. 75% of participants conformed at least once. They denied their own eyes to fit in. This is social proof. Humans are tribal creatures. In moments of uncertainty, we don't look inward, we look around. We look to others for cues on how to think, behave, and believe. That's why laugh tracks exist. That's why people check reviews before ordering food. That's why political rallies show crowd sizes. We don't trust our own instincts, we trust the herd. And once enough of the herd moves, the rest follow, even if they're walking toward a cliff. Social proof is used in cult recruitment. Everyone here was lost until they joined us. Digital virality. This video has 1 M likes, must be true. Retail marketing. Bestseller, most popular. This is not persuasion. This is psychological gravity. And just like gravity, you don't notice it until it's gone. Part 4, the modern world. Manipulation as a system. Let's zoom out. Priming, nudging, and social proof aren't isolated. They're everywhere, and they're connected. Let's break down how these tools shape our daily lives invisibly. Marketing and consumer behavior. Priming. Ads use colors, music, and imagery to make you associate products with status or comfort. Nudging. E-commerce sites default you into higher shipping options or upsells. Social proof. You buy based on reviews, follower counts, or influencer recommendations. The average consumer believes they're making rational choices. In reality, their psychology is being exploited with precision. Politics and propaganda. Priming. News outlets use fear-based headlines to trigger tribal thinking. Nudging. Ballot designs can subtly influence outcomes based on layout. Social proof. Polls are shown to create bandwagon effects, not just reflect opinion. You don't just vote for policies. You vote from within a pre-shaped environment designed by strategists and behavioral scientists. Relationships and influence. Priming. Your partner remembers to compliment you right after watching a rom-com. Nudging. They guide decisions by framing them as what's best for both of us. Social proof. They bring in third-party validation. Everyone thinks we're perfect together. Manipulation doesn't need to be malicious, but it always has direction. And whoever sets that direction holds the strings. Part 5. Why it works. The brain's need for shortcuts. None of this would work if your brain wasn't wired to be lazy. Priming, nudging, social proof, they all exploit a fundamental truth. The brain wants to conserve energy. This is called cognitive ease. When information feels easy to process, your brain feels safer. It trusts it more. It accepts it faster. When something feels difficult, the brain becomes cautious, suspicious, uncomfortable. And most people will do anything to avoid discomfort, even if that means giving up their autonomy. This is why people stick with bad habits, vote against their interests, stay in toxic relationships, and believe things they don't understand. Not because they're stupid, but because they're wired for shortcuts. And every shortcut creates a path for the puppet master to sneak in. Part 6. The dark side. When manipulation becomes control, when does influence become abuse? That's the moral edge we now stand on. A teacher uses priming to help students feel calm. A dictator uses it to sow fear. A designer nudges you to recycle. A corporation nudges you to overspend. Same tools, different intentions. Dark psychology doesn't come from knowledge, it comes from intent. But the danger is this. Most manipulators don't think they're doing anything wrong. Control feels like help. Manipulation feels like care, until the puppet realizes he can't move on his own anymore. And by then, it's too late. The strings are wrapped around his will. Final reflection, who pulls your strings? Let's ask the uncomfortable questions. Are you reacting or being triggered? Are your beliefs truly yours, or were they placed there? Are your values a product of choice or design? You don't need to become paranoid, but you do need to become aware, because awareness is the knife that cuts the string, and if you don't pull it, someone else will. So the next time you think you're making a decision, stop. Look around, listen carefully, feel the pull, because somewhere, silently, someone might already be holding the thread. If this video opened your eyes, leave a comment below. Have you ever caught yourself being manipulated after the fact? Do you see these strings in your daily life now? Let's start a conversation. And if you want more psychological truths and invisible tools of control, subscribe. We're just getting started. Stay sharp, stay aware, and don't let the strings pull you without a fight.